Hi, and welcome. Welcome to my first podcast live and probably messing it up terribly. I've already tried a couple of things that were failures. That's the way we do it, isn't it? You start, you try things, see how they work. If they don't work, you try again. Great Chinese proverb: fall down 7 times, get up 8. So I hope that you are out there enjoying this beautiful Friday, and hopefully this is working. I hope so. Let's see here. Let's see if I can figure out some things. Here we go. Comments. Say something if you're out there so I know. Tried some overlays. They did not work so well. Let's see how my sound is now if I take this out. Okay, there we go. Put back in my earbuds. So today I wanted to take just a moment to talk about leadership, to talk about how we find leaders, who gets to be a leader. Typically, they are great at their job, right? They are the person in the office that does a remarkable job at whatever they do. If you are in a machine factory and they are great at being a machinist, we say, hey, Tom, we're going to move you up the ladder. If you are a great radiologist tech, we move you up the ladder. You are a great engineer or scientist, you now become the manager of said scientist. That's how you become a leader. So what really happens is you're an awesome leader. No, not at all. You don't know how to manage people. You really have no skill sets for people or peopling. What you really do is your job really well. Okay. You're really good at the task of your job. Maybe you are the best accountant. So you run numbers really well. You run spreadsheets really well. You know how to run a pivot table. Why did we think that would make you an excellent manager of people? So then we wonder why our organizations do not work, why people are leaving, why people are unhappy. Over 479,000 people get in some kind of conflict at work every year and decide to leave their job. That costs us about $14.9 billion because there's the time they leave, there's the money we spend getting a new person, and then there's that time we spend getting the new person up to speed. Because we really don't know how to manage or talk to people, because we think good leaders are brought from people who do their jobs really well. But that's not necessarily the case. I have a few notes here. So really what makes good leaders are people who not so much concentrate on being in charge, leading, but are people who like to take charge and take care of those they are in charge of. Being a great leader, Simon Sinek says, means giving all the credit away when something is great and taking all the blame when something doesn't go well. So if something doesn't go well, you have to say, yep, that's on me. I did not give my staff the tools and information, education, the proper things they needed to do today's task. But when it goes really well, you get to say, look at how they did. Look at what they did. Look how wonderful they did. That's really what makes a great leader. That's what we're trying to get to. We talk a lot about people of our younger generation leaving or not staying, maybe not being like we are. But the truth is, we created this. We are the ones in charge. If we don't like something, then I suppose we can only look right here, can't we? We have grown up in an era where those in charge are those in charge. But if anything, COVID and this pandemic taught us was people have options. We are now in a global economy, a world. I'm sitting here from my home office. Many other people are. They can work from it. They don't have to depend on the next door company to work. They have options not only in their own community, not only in their own state, but in the world. And we've all found there's a few more things important. So learning to communicate with styles of people, maybe not like yourself, is very impactful. I tell people the golden rules works out very good at a very elementary level. I will do unto others as I would like them to do unto me. But the way I like things is not how the rest of the world operates necessarily. It is in our finding how other people learn, hear, and communicate that we can best adapt and become successful business women and men. So when I teach a class on communication, the first thing I do is, what do you notice about someone who comes in your office as an employee? Are they fast moving? Are they slow? Are they open with all of their information? Do they open up easily about their life? Are they very guarded? Are they very direct with you? Which lets you, oh, this is easy to understand. Or are they indirect? Do they need a lot of information? Do they need to know all the facts? Do they like a spreadsheet? Are they dreamers? I'll give you an example. I am what they call in the disc a very high eye. You'll notice from the twinkly lights and the long earrings. I like things that shine. I'm what they call a global thinker. What makes me good at looking at a business, hearing the overall picture, I'm a person who doesn't miss the forest for the trees. So I'm a very good person at being persuasive and giving you an overall picture, a good salesperson, saying, we should change this, you should do this. Very good at strategic planning. What high eyes need is to know that they are appreciated and valued. You need to know that they are liked among their peers. So in my performance review, it's much more important to say how valued I have been in the company. The spreadsheets, the numbers, going over things like that are cold and callous to me, are not going to make me want to stay. But if I was the boss And I had someone who is very conscientious, who is very analytical. And I talked to them in my voice about the dream, and we're so glad you're here, and we feel like you are such a great fit. They would be like the shifting sands below them because I am not speaking their language, which needs details. I would need to sit down with them and say, here's where you were, here's the numbers that you projected, here's the numbers we think you'll project next year. We're very happy with this percentage of increase. We value your accuracy. Their fear is to make a mistake or to be inaccurate. You see? Being a leader, I think for so long, we have felt like is about telling them how it is, getting them to follow the rules, having expectations and having them met. I would have you to think, what if you had a system of learning and training for each person that brought the best out of them? What if your purpose as a leader was to give the tools which made them perform at their highest and best use? I love that term. What is your highest and best use? What is your employees, staff members' highest and best use? How will they feel most comfortable? How will they perform at their best? How can you architect the best environment for them? That's what you're there for. Two scenarios. An employee comes in and they are late again. And you don't want this, right? Being late is not okay. You have two ways to do this. There's the old school way, right? You just, Cameron, oh my gosh, you're late. I'm writing you up. If this happens again, we're getting rid of you. I call that the beatings will continue until morale improves. Or number two, you choose empathy. Hi, Cameron. You have a great spirit. We love having you around the office. You're so friendly. You've always done a good job, but lately you've been late several times, and this worries me. My fear is if this continues, I won't be able to give you raises. I won't be able to give you the next position, whatever it is. And I want you to succeed. We want you to stay here. We value you as an employee. Is there something going on? Is there something I can help you with? Well, all of a sudden, instead of me being backed in a corner, and I let you know what's really going on in my life. And it might not always be this way, but maybe there is a problem with my children, or with my transportation, or with my marriage. Oh, let's work that out. Where the first way creates conflict and fear, and I'm not going to tell you now. You're mad at me, and I'm back in a corner. What am I going to do? Always remember, what is your end result? What is the end result? What do you want to happen? What you really want to happen is for me to show up on time. Yelling at me is probably not going to have that happen. Same thing with conflict. People are so afraid to have a conversation, and they think that conflict means this. And especially as we go on, we've all become subject to these, right? Everything's on, tweeted. Gosh, that Twitter. In the mornings, my phone comes up and it automatically has little, and I get down this like rabbit hole, like, people are just mean on that. That's just the place you go to be mean, I think. Rather than at the very onset of an issue, and you as a leader can model this, I think there's been a misunderstanding. Because, and here's the praise, genuine praise. I've always found you intelligent and great to work with. But in the meeting, it seemed that whatever the problem was, I feel like you were angry with me, and my fear is if that continues, it'll be a breakdown of our relationship and trust, and we won't be able to work here cohesively to get this project done. And I don't want that to happen. I know it's just a misunderstanding. So what have I done? I did this. I've done this. When I wanted to, when our first trigger reaction is, but you know what? That doesn't solve anything. It doesn't solve anything. It's like you going crazy road rage when someone pulls out in front of you. Well, what does that do? Your blood pressure is up. You feel bad. You've blown a gasket. Your body is aching and hurting and whatever. They're gone. You haven't done anything. You haven't done anything worthwhile. You could just go, maybe they had to get, I tell myself, maybe they had to get to the hospital. I don't know. Maybe their dad's dying. Maybe they're about to have a baby. Maybe they are having a baby in that car. God bless them. I'm going to say a prayer. My body is fine. I am not about to drink poison while expecting someone else to die. So do it with conflict. Hey, I'm sure, gosh, I'm so sorry. What's happened? I'm sure there's a misunderstanding. It's very hard to be angry with someone when they're really kind. It just is. It's very disarming. And they're like, oh, well, I was kind of aggravated because you did such a, oh, I did? I didn't mean to. Da-da-da-da. $358 billion lost in the American economy because of conflict in office. People don't leave the job. Just leave. I can't stand Cameron. I'm not going back. They could just talk. We just have a conversation. Well, I have no idea if this even worked, if there was anybody that even saw it. But I hope to continue these. Hope your Friday afternoon goes well. Write me, talk me. I think there's a way to do something here. Let's see here. You can email me. Look here, let's see if we can make this happen. There it is. I feel accomplished. You can email me right there. You can find me at that same website. Um, you can call me. Let's talk about communicating better. Let's talk about making this a better place to work, to live, to communicate. And I hope you have a great day.